Steve Jobs, the American businessman who is best known as co-founder and chief executive officer of Apple Inc. Steve Jobs made a company called Apple in 1976. They made their first two computers until Steve Jobs left. Everyone was surprised why he decided to leave Apple. Then suddenly news spread on why he left. People said because his partner wanted to run the company by himself. Then Steve Jobs had to quit, but he suddenly thought to do something. He thought about making computers at home by himself. As Apple came up with the Mac III, which made the company slow down. In 1980, Steve Jobs joined back Apple and saved Apple. Apple's next products were a huge success. In 1985, they announced that Steve Jobs was leaving Apple again to start another adventure. He left with $150 million worth of net worth. In 2005, Jobs made a speech. In that speech, it talked about him getting fired from Apple. He said something unusual. He said, "When Apple fired me in the mid-80s, it was the best thing that ever happened to me." During 2005, Jobs worked with an animation studio called Pixar. He also worked with a company called Next and made computers over there. Apple was doing terribly, so his partner quit it and hired Steve Jobs back in. Then Steve Jobs quickly got to work on making many products. He made the first two products, such as an iPad and a Mac Pro. These two items were a great success and led the company to move forward. He made websites such as Macworld. It was a website about the Mac and other products. It was hard because he had surgery, so he couldn't work at Apple all the time. In 2007, one of Steve Jobs' workers made apps more round. Steve Jobs thought what to do with these round apps. And then he came up with the phone. Not just a phone, but a smartphone. The iPhone took long to make, but when it came out in 2007, it was the most innovative smartphone in the whole world. Steve Jobs started getting ill from cancer. The last thing he made was the iPad in 2010. On 2011, he died. He left a sweet message on the Apple board, which said, "I believe Apple's brightest days are ahead of us, and I look forward to contributing to its success in a new role." Jobs' legacy was not just to make the devices. He also wanted to make them slim, portable, and compatible. Apple has took his place to make Jobs' legacy come true. We will remember Steve Jobs as the man who saved Apple. Not just a man, but a legend.